Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to another episode of Let's Finally Talk with Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, and that would be me. I'm really excited to be here. If you are new to this space, this is a program that I am doing every day, trying to do every day at least, and bringing you the wisdom and the knowledge that I collect in all the interviews that I do, all the research that I do. It's actually a pleasure to be able to be here. And this show is part of a whole collection of shows that we have on Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, as well as USA Global TV and Radio. So please get to know us, subscribe to our channels, and we'd love to have you as part of our community. You'll be able to see there in the show notes what the links are if you're interested in joining our communities, and I'll put them up on the screen. For any of you who are listening on an audio-only platform, podcast platforms, our platform for YouTube is USA Global TV and also Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. So thank you. We have completely different audiences on both of those channels, which is really interesting. So I want to talk to you today about, in a fast-moving world, many people equate power with being the loudest voice. So you've been in meetings, you've seen this kind of thing happen where people are talking loudly, they're standing up, they're demanding to be heard and to be seen. And yet many times it's the person in the room who's not saying anything, who's actually there, quiet in the background, has a lot to share, but yet they can't be heard because of the powerful voices who are sometimes typically stealing the stage. And so I know when I was in corporate, I had that happen quite a bit, where there were certain people who loved to have all the answers. And so if leadership would ask a question, typically a lot of the same people would want to give their answers. And I remember one day, one of my managers said, "Jacalyn, is there something that you'd like to say?" And when I actually opened my mouth and I had something to say, I think people were shocked, because I think that, people judge, right? Oh, she's not going to say anything. She has nothing to say. She doesn't think anything about anything. But yet I had a lot to say, but I wasn't going to push my way into the space. And so using silence can be a great tool to help you get your point across. I want you to think about this. How many times have you been in a conversation with someone and it starts to get heated? And what happens is one person starts over talking the other one. And before you know it, you're in a full blown fight. And if only one of the two people, it'd be great if both people practice this, but if only one of the two, and let's say it's you, if you decided you were not going to engage, no matter what they said to you, no matter how horrible, no matter how much it hurt, whether it was true or not, if you chose not to engage, how could that have changed the dynamics of that interaction? I have been able to use silence quite frequently because I work on my skills. I work on my tools. I have mentors. I'm constantly researching. There are certain people like Mel Robbins who really stand out to me as a leader in this space when it comes to actually owning our power. When we get involved in conversations that get out of control, where emotions start to rage, we lose our power. We are basically giving our power over to the other person. And I don't know if you've ever felt like this, because we've all had this kind of situation at some point in our life. But after you lose control, I know for me, I feel horrible. I feel absolutely horrible. In fact, I was just in a situation not that long ago where someone else was completely out of control. This person had lost control of their emotions, and I was the victim. And meaning that they were taking it all out on me. I didn't even have a word to say, because I don't even know where this was coming from. It was sort of a stranger. And so long story short, I chose not to engage because I follow 3 questions that I ask myself now. Is it kind? Is it necessary? And is it true? And when we look at whether or not something is true, We can have different perspectives, right? To you, it might be true, and to me, it's not true. But yet, a third party, if they were mediating, they would be able to look at the facts and do the research and come up with whether or not it was true. So sometimes we even use that, is it true, to our advantage or disadvantage, because it might not be factually true. So when you think about the engagements that you have with people, the interactions that you have with people, people who know you well, they may mean it, they may not mean it. They may trigger you, that word trigger, because they know how to push your buttons. They know how to play you. They know how to get you upset so that you give them your power. Well, I'm here to tell you that you can take your power back. You can take your power back every single time by getting a hold of your emotions. Think of yourself as wearing a suit of armor that no matter what someone says to you, it's going to bounce back and it's going to hit them. And I know some of you might be thinking, yeah, I don't know about this. It sounds like a lot of work. It sounds like mumbo jumbo, but it's actually not. You have to practice these things. These are tools. Just like money is a tool, some people, their entire life, their identity is based around money. But when you realize that money is a tool, you have other tools in your tool chest that you can use. So you get into a conversation with someone, and I'm going to pick a very understandable topic, especially with what's going on in the world. And someone starts talking to you about politics, and they know how you feel, they know who you voted for, and they're on the opposite side. You already know that if you stick your toe into this water, if you stick your foot, your leg, your body, you know where it's going to go. You are going to be drowning at some point because this person has been very vocal about how they feel. So, do you choose to engage? Are you interested in stirring the pot and going there and giving your power over to someone else? And if you are, I want you to ask yourself, what is the reason that you want to engage? Do you like having arguments with people? Are you interested in drama? Do you find that part of your life is based on drama? I know many years ago, maybe 20, 25 years ago, someone, a family member, actually said to me, you know, you love drama. And I actually didn't really know what this person was talking about and actually took it as an offensive comment. But yet this person was right. I didn't even realize it because I was so mired in the drama. So reflect on your life and what's going on with you. Do you find that you spend a lot of time arguing with people? Are you someone who loves a good debate? Now, I like to debate, but I don't want a life about debating. I don't want every interaction I have with someone to be about debating. So if you fall into those categories, I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to help you and give you tools because everything that I stand for, everything USA Global TV and Radio stands for, is about helping people find peace. So I teach a series of courses. I actually train people in elevated listening. So part of what I'm sharing with you today is part of that elevated listening. Do you feel the need to be right? Is it more important for you to be right than to have peace? I don't know the answer to that, but I know for me, at 62 years of age, I'll take peace every single time. I don't want drama in my life. There's so much drama out in the world. There's so much drama on network television, on network news. I don't want it. I don't want it because time is short. All we have in life is time. So think about, how are you spending your time? Do you go to work and you're in confrontations with people? Or maybe in your mind, you're playing this recording over and over again about how much you hate someone or how much you hate working there, or you hate the pay, or you hate driving to the office. Guess what? You have a choice. You don't have to do that anymore. Every day that we wake up, we have the opportunity to make decisions. Now, I know sometimes we feel like we're powerless. We feel like maybe we have health issues, or we have financial issues, or relationship issues. But I promise you, even within those issues, we have a choice. We have a choice of how we show up. We have a choice of the perspective that we decide to take. Are we going to take the perspective of why is this happening to me? Or why is this happening for me? Every time something happens to us that takes us out of our comfort zone, that's unplanned, that's unpleasant, I have found in my 62 years of life, there's a message there. There's something there for me to learn that's going to help me go to the next level. So when we think about ourselves as humans, whatever age you are, think about what it is that you want for yourself in life. Think about what your life has looked like up until this point, and then imagine what you'd like your life to look like. So many times when I'm coaching people, whether it's individually or in groups, I'll ask them how happy they are in their life. And people will pretty much say, I'm really happy. I'm probably a 10 out of 10. I'm an 8 out of 10, unless they have some major issue in their life. You may be going through divorce, or you're looking for work, or you have health issues. But otherwise, people will say generally they're either really happy or they're not as happy as they like to be. And we start to drill down on different aspects of their life, they start to realize that they're not as happy as they'd like to be in all aspects of their life. And one that comes up a lot is relationships. So if you're in a romantic relationship with someone, or maybe you have a long-standing friendship with someone, and all of a sudden it's coming to an end, one of the two of you already decided before the end that you were no longer interested, that you were out. And Mel Robbins talks about a seesaw. If you know what a seesaw is, it takes two people to be on the seesaw. And so sometimes it goes up and sometimes it goes down. But that ride that you're on, that's the relationship. And you can keep going until someone gets off the seesaw. And when they get off the seesaw, the other person's going to fly up, right? And the person getting off, they're going to go down. And so now the relationship is completely out of whack. And somebody said, you know what? I'm not in anymore. But they probably were thinking in their mind for a long period of time that they were already out. There's a movie that came out a long time ago, and I forget who was in it, but I think it was called He's Just Not That Into You. Meaning, you think this person is really interested in you, but they're actually not. They're just playing a role. And part of it is because you're not observing what actually has been going on. And that's what happens in our life. We get into these patterns of behavior that become second nature. We come into the house, we come into the door of our home, wherever it is, and an argument ensues. And it's the same argument that's been going on for years. Where were you? Why didn't you call? The dinner's, I'm just giving an example. The dinner's been waiting, the kids are crying, and it goes on night after night after night. And you get to the point where you don't even want to go home. But instead of sitting down and having a conversation about why it is you are late, or instead of you even thinking about why don't I call? If I did call from the very beginning, maybe I wouldn't be in this situation. So I'm asking you to consider, what is your role in the fact that you're not happy in every aspect of your life, and what can you do? You can take control of your thoughts, take control of your behavior. And instead of engaging, you can use the tool of silence. And I love the idea of silence, because when you're silent, there's nothing the other person can do. And I've actually done this with people. They're freaking out, they're losing their control, and I just sit there, hands folded neatly in my lap. And I just let them continue. And at some point, they're exhausted because there's nothing left. And there's no one countering what they're saying. There's no one bouncing back and forth off of what they're saying. Think about if you were on Survivor or one of these reality TV shows and you have to make a fire. Okay, I have no idea about how to make fires, but I see they have flints and they're doing something. So you have to make a fire. And there's certain things you can do to keep that fire going. And if you don't do them, the fire is going to go out. And we see that on Survivor and a lot of these reality TV shows where people are out in the woods and they have to do something to create a fire. And they don't have what it takes to keep the fire going. But yet in relationships, that's what we do every single day. We put fuel in the fire to keep it going and going and going, because by golly, I'm going to win this one. I'm the one who's right. I refuse for her to tell me this. And we're already losing because we gave away our power. So think about actually creating a fire, what that takes, what's involved with it. You have to have a flint, you have to have kindling, and you have to blow on the fire, I guess, and then you have to have more sticks and wood. So it takes an effort. It's the same thing when you're having a disagreement with someone. It takes an effort to keep it going. So using the tool of silence not only can help you protect yourself, you can also establish the fact to the other person, I refuse to go there with you. There's an old expression, I don't know where it comes from, but it's something about rolling around in the mud with pigs. And the pigs actually enjoy it, but you don't. So when you get into these arguments with people, think about using the 6-second pause. Thank you for sharing that. I heard what you had to say. And you say nothing. Because when you say nothing, they can't come back. What are they going to say now? You're looking right at them. It's not like you're ignoring them. You're not picking up your phone and scrolling. You're completely present and focused, but you've chosen not to engage. And I'd love to hear from any of you out there if you've ever used this tool. I know personally that it works extremely well. And in the coaching industry, I'm a certified life, career, and executive coach. This is one of the tools that we're trained on. When you have a coaching client, you ask a powerful question to get the client to think, and you do not say anything. You look at them. And if you're on the screen or you're sitting across them, you literally just look them right in the eyes and you say nothing. And what happens is it gives them time to think so that they can actually come up with an answer that's what they wanted to say, instead of being forced into something because it went from a conversation to a confrontation. And that's what I want for each and every one of us in this world, to be able to find a way to be at peace. No one's coming to give you peace. There's not going to be a knock at the door. They used to have those, Publishers Clearinghouse checks that you was going to save everyone's life. And of course, you find out when you get all the money. I don't know this personally, but stories I've read, people come in, they want your money. People are hounding you and you have no peace. You got this money and now your whole life is disrupted. No one's coming to deliver you peace. You have to find the peace. You have to take control of your life. And again, as Mel Robbins says, with the let them theory, let them do what they're going to do and let you decide how you're going to engage. You are empowered. I don't have to empower you. You have the ability to make the choice to take control of your life right this minute. Right this very minute, you can make a statement to yourself. You can write it down. You can say it out loud. You can put it in the show notes, wherever you're watching. I am going to take back my power. Say it to yourself as an affirmation. I am going to take back my power. I have taken back my power. I am my biggest cheerleader. I'm here to tell you that for someone who has spent a lot of their adult life with their parents, with my parents, they both passed away. I've been single for a very long time. I thrive being alone. When I'm alone, which is, I run my own schedule by choice. I come up with so many ideas. That's how I came up with this USA Global TV and radio network. That's how I started writing books. I've published 26 books in the last 3.5 years. And it's not being braggadocious. It's just by having the control. Whether you're in a relationship or not, you still are a human being. Before everything else that we are humans. And as humans, what separates us from everything else is we have the ability to make choices. We have abilities to say, not today, not for me. I'm not engaging. So, what I want to leave you with today is you have everything you need right now inside yourself. You may not think that. You may think, I wish I had more money. I wish I had better health. I wish I had a partner. I wish I lived somewhere different. But inside, in this container that we each are given the gift of, you have the ability of choice of how you see your circumstances and how you're going to change them, embrace them. You have the power and the control. You don't have to hire someone to tell you this. You don't have to read books, but you can, and I would suggest that you do. There's nothing better than working with someone who can help you work through whatever it is that's going on with you in a day. I personally, and again, I'm not saying this to be braggadocious. I'm just saying in case you don't know me, I have a master's degree. I have a doctorate. I just got accepted to Wharton. I have 6 mentors at any time. Why? Because I don't know everything. I do not know everything. Sometimes I feel like I don't know anything. But what I do know is that I'm not going to spend the rest of my life, which could be 20 years, 30 years, if some miracle occurs. I'm not going to spend it giving my power to anyone else. And that's what I want for you, so that you can find your peace, that you can make the choice to say, you know what, I choose not to engage. I care about you. I appreciate you. I've heard what you said, but I choose not to engage. You don't have to say our politics are different, or I see this law as different, or I think everyone should leave this country and go. You don't have to give opinions about anything. You're entitled to your opinions, but once you give them, once you put them out there, you're basically inviting someone to challenge them. So for me, I don't give my opinions. People don't know what my politics are. People don't know where I stand on this issue or that issue. Why? Because it's not important. You don't have to be 62 like I am to say, I don't care what other people's opinions are of me. That's their business. But you do have the ability to say, I am responsible for what I put out there. And if you're putting statements out there, the holidays are coming up, right? If you are going to your family's a home, or you're hosting people, you're going to a dinner party, you got a company get together, and you're putting out your politics, expect someone to come back at you. If you decide you want to talk about gun control or abortion or any of these other highly charged issues, expect that someone's going to do the dance with you because you put it out there. So for me, I choose not to discuss any of those things because none of them bring me peace. What brings me peace is helping other people. What brings me peace is thinking, what can I do today to serve humanity? What can I learn to better enrich my life so that I can help others? So I want to thank you for listening. I want to wish you a very peaceful existence. And if there's anything that I can do to help you, please know that I am here. As I mentioned, I've written some books. For those of you who know me, my books, I do not write them to get rich. I'm not getting rich from writing books. In fact, many times when I'm in an event, if you ever see that I'm in an event and you want to come, I sign my books and I give them away for free. Why? Because I want someone to read this book and say, you know what? I can take this and I can incorporate it into my life and I can make a change. My newest book is Holy But Harmful, The Silent Sin of Judgment. Someone made some very judgmental statements to me, someone I knew for a very long time. And I thought, you know what? I have no judgment. I'm going to do research about some of the things that were said to me. And so in this book, I have 100 statements that are judgmental. And let me see if I can find them and just read some of them to you, because we say them all the time. And so I didn't write this book to make anyone feel bad or put anyone down. I wrote the book so that we can look at this behavior of ourselves and other people, and we can ask reflective questions. What words or tones tend to trigger you? How do those triggers affect your ability to stay present in a conversation? So, in other words, you might be having a conversation with someone and they say something to you, and all of a sudden your emotions start and you become very upset. And now you're no longer listening to what they said to you. So, when that happens, we're no longer present. And so we're not actively participating in the conversation, and the person can feel that. So, in the book, I talk about passive aggressive behaviors. I talk about religion. I talk about aging. There's a lot of different topics in here. So there's also a new workbook, and these books are available on Amazon as well as at fine bookstores like Barnes and Noble and Waterstones and others. And then I have a whole series of books for children, The Amazing Adventures of Lady Ella, the Listening Mentor. And so this is the newest book. This is a book about kindness for children. So I really am of the mindset, I don't have any children, but I believe that if we teach our children how to be present, how to be gracious, how to show empathy and compassion and have manners, that they won't have to go into their adult life and then relearn all these behaviors, because the behaviors that we learn that are not serving us, we carry them into our life. And so then we get into a relationship with someone and the relationship's not working. We say to ourselves, you know what? I don't understand why this person and I are not getting along. Well, because they have issues and you have issues, and neither one of you address the issues. And now, as two people who have issues, you're trying to make a relationship work when you haven't figured yourself out. So start with you, and I'll leave you with this. What I found, and I've shared this before, but it warrants being said again, is listen to that voice inside you, your intuition. Now, if you're hearing a lot of voices inside you, that might be a different story for a different show. And I'm not an expert in that area. But I know that for a lot of my life, my intuition told me not to do something, and I did it anyway. Or it told me to do something, and I thought, you know what, I'm not going to do it today. So I found now in my whole quest to have peace is that my intuition is pretty much spot on. And we have a comment from someone. Salmon Co 369. Thank you so much for your comment of nice. I really appreciate that. It's always nice to know that people are out there. So I'd love to have you subscribe to our channels again on YouTube. This is our Silver Creator Award-winning channel, which we now have 107,000 subscribers on USA Global TV. And Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, which is my namesake, this channel I started, I think, 2 years after the first one. So we have over 36,000 on this one, but completely different audiences. So again, this is one of 60 some shows that we do. We have shows in German and we have shows in French, and we'll have other languages that are coming. If you would like to be a guest on this show, I would be honored to have you. You can actually go to our website, which is usaglobaltv.com/book your session. And I always like to support other people. Not that she needs more support, but Mel Robbins, look for a copy of her book, The Let Them Theory. I think it's a highly worthwhile read. And of course, it won all kinds of awards. It was a New York Times bestselling book. It might even still be. It came out in December of 2024. All right, thank you so much. The last thing I want to leave you with is that I am hosting a retreat. And this retreat is at a beautiful place called the Horseshoe Farm. It's located in North Carolina, in Hendersonville, North Carolina, in the good US of A. And I actually was invited to attend a retreat there, and it was called Meditation for Leadership. That's the entity that invited me. And so I went, and I was so impressed. I actually met the owner, and I met some of the management there, and I thought, I'm having my own retreat. So while I was there on property, I took footage that I actually compiled with our team members to put together this commercial. So think about joining me June the 3rd through the 6th in 2026, there's only space for 14 people. So we'll be doing master classes and workshops. We'll have meditation. We'll have yoga. The food from the Silo Cookhouse is outstanding. They also have the stable spa, which is excellent. The lodging is 5-star. So take a look at this. And if you're interested, the contact details are at the end. Thanks so much. I'll be back tomorrow. And of course, we have a full day of broadcasting with our other programming, and we hope that you'll join our community. Bye for now. Nestled in the heart of the Blue Ridge Mountains, the Horseshoe Farm has always been more than a destination. It's a living, breathing reflection of community, connection, and transformation. Once a humble family farmstead, it has evolved over the years to become a sanctuary for travelers, seekers, families, and friends alike. Originally reimagined by the Turchin family as an Airbnb property, the farm began its journey into hospitality with simple roots, welcoming guests to experience the beauty and peace of the sacred land. As word spread and the vision deepened, the property organically blossomed into a boutique resort, rooted in the values of slow living, intentional experiences, and the magic of gathering. Today, the Horseshoe Farm is a 90-acre experiential retreat that merges hospitality, wellness, and culinary excellence. It is home to the stable spa, the Silo Cookhouse, distinctive lodging options, and a curated calendar of events that nourish mind, body, and spirit. Our guest experience is designed to be both grounding and expansive, where the comforts of luxury meet with the simplicity of nature. At its core, the Horseshoe Farm is about transformation of land, of self, and of community. We are proud of where we've come from. We are confident in who we are today and excited for the road ahead. Hello, I'm Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, also known as the Listening Mentor and President and Founder of USA Global TV and Radio. I had the opportunity, the pleasure of attending a retreat at the Horseshoe Farm just recently. I was so impressed with all of the opportunities that were presented to me in this glorious setting, as well as the highest level of customer service, that I've decided to put together a retreat at the Horseshoe Farm in Hendersonville, North Carolina, United States of America, June 3rd through the 6th, 2026. You can expect to have a beautiful time of relaxation combined with learning, community, collaboration. Do consider joining me in this wonderful opportunity to reconnect with yourself, with others, and with nature. For more information, email me at drjacalyn@usaglobaltv.com.
Is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? In a world quick to judge, one book dares to reveal the hidden cost of silence. Discover Holy but Harmful, The Silent Sin of Judgment, How Hidden Judgments Destroy Relationships and Damage Lives by Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. The Amazon #1 bestseller that's transforming the way we understand ourselves and the way we see others. Pick up the companion workbook to uncover your own hidden judgments and learn how to break free from them. Available now on Amazon and at fine bookstores worldwide.
USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents Tracy Cram-Perkins, a dementia caregiving survivor teaching how to balance care with peace of mind. #1 resource for dementia caregivers. It's the book Dementia Home Care: How to Prepare Before, During, and After. Over 17,000 copies sold of this must-have guide. And now a testimonial from Tracy Smith.
If I was to describe this book to someone who is going through a similar situation, I would underscore how important it is to have some sort of a tool or a guidebook to help you through certain stages. And there's so many, it's such an unknown topic to the average person. And to have this as a reference is essential. It's going to help you get through it personally, as well as help your loved one manage.
To learn more, go to TracyCramPerkins.com. Tracy Cram Perkins is an award-winning author. She's also the host of Dementia Home Care television show. Watch it here on USA Global TV and Radio.